Hello everyone. Yay! So this one is a challenging one, very personal, yet I feel really important to mention. So far, I've been talking about kind of ups and downs, the challenges of kind of the physiological and emotional, perhaps even mental aspects of pregnancy, and there will be more of that. Do not worry. But I feel there is so much more to being a parent, and that includes the financial side of things, and actually that's what usually causes more stress to parents. It's how to manage everything, and this is difficult because I do feel ashamed of the situation I'm in, and I will explain that and how I'm letting go of the shame and for what reasons. But if I start crying in the middle of this, do forgive me. So here we go. Basically, some of you I'm sure are aware, I'm doing this as single mother, with some support from the father, but that support is limited for various reasons that I'm not at liberty to discuss really because it's his life. But I'm in this on my own, not completely on my own, because I have amazing friends that I'm really grateful for, but really it's me, myself and my baby, and that changes everything, because living life as a single person is completely different to living it as a parent. Just everything changes, as I'm finding out very quickly, and I've been finding it very challenging. So basically I'm in quite difficult financial position, not just because of what's changing now, but also kind of prior to even getting to this point. It hasn't been particularly easy, but it was manageable because I was on my own. I could manage it, and how I got there was basically investing while I was working as a police officer. Most of my money were being invested into a house we were building with my husband in Ecuador. Unfortunately, when we split up and after he died, that became dead money because we weren't able to sell the house because it wasn't legal, and to make it legal would cost almost as much as we've already invested into it, which it's not something I could do at the time. So I just signed it off to the family who can at least live in it. And I have family for life in Ecuador, which is great, but obviously that's just all that money that I invested into this, and it was tens of thousands. It's lost, it's gone, and it's not coming back. So I was basically, when I was starting my business, I was starting completely from scratch with no savings. I wasn't planning children at that point. Like I really thought I'm gonna live childless life. So that's not something I was considering. What I was looking at is I need to take some risks to get it off the ground and make it happen. And so I did. I took a loan and I took some really bad financial advice that, one thing led to another. It takes time to build a business up. And I ended up in quite bad debt, like several thousand pounds. That I managed in the end to get under control and to manage it, unfortunately not without defaulting on a few accounts, which I felt so ashamed of. Like I never thought I'd be in that position, but it was just the only way out. And of course that affects my credit score. So not that I would want to borrow more money, but even like when you're looking at accommodation and stuff, it unfortunately does affect your chances. So that was that. As a single person, I got to a point when I was managing, my business was flourishing, and I was doing pretty well. I went for more than a year without borrowing any money, and I was doing pretty well, paying the debt off, and slowly but surely, and managing pretty well. However, when I became pregnant, it affected the main source of my income, which is massage. The first 3 months I just had to take more breaks in between clients, so I couldn't work as hard because I just wasn't physically able to, like I was too tired, too unwell, so I was still able to work, but my income did go down a bit. And now summer comes where I am physically fit actually to do the work, and I'm booking as many clients as I can. However, a lot of them are away on holidays, especially my kind of regular clients, some of them even like for the whole 2 months. So again, that can make the situation a little bit more challenging, and that at the end of August massage is done. I just won't be able to physically continue with that work because it's such a physically demanding work, and of course as your belly grows it just becomes impractical as well as difficult for the body. So I will have to then rely on the other aspects of my work, which is therapy, which is kind of like the coaching that I do online, my book, all that kind of stuff, which is all kind of up in the air. It's not predictable business, it's all client based. So until the client turns up and pays, I can't count the money. And because it's a new business, it takes time to build it up. My original plan was to take 5 years of slowly transitioning from massage to talk and therapy only, but now I'm forced to do it in basically a few months. Which is not how I imagine things going, and if everything goes well, then I'll be fine. I will not need any financial help whatsoever. I'll be able to be self-sufficient, but again, as I said, I can't rely on it. And so as challenging as finding it, I have to ask for help. I have to ask my friend for help. I have to ask the government for help. And I've been doing that. I've been applying for whatever they told me to apply to be able to get accommodation, because I have to move out of my flat as well. So finding a new place, because they're selling the flat, and finding a new place with debt, being self-employed, pregnant, single, and your income's getting low, and credit score being bad, it's just almost basically it's impossible to find a private renting that I'd be able to afford, or that would take me on. So I have to go through the council and ask for temporary help with the rent as well, until I'm able to basically really pick my business up. And I'm also looking for some work that I can do while I'm pregnant. Again, that's been proven challenging because either the kind of job that I can actually physically do, I'm not qualified to do, or don't have experience in, the kind of admin office jobs, because I've been applying and just keep rejecting left, right and centre. Or some people just don't want me because I'm pregnant, and I'm at that stage now that it's not something I can hide, even legally. So it's kind of, I have to go through the council and benefits and stuff, the benefit system, and it's becoming very, very frustrating because it really feels like if you're trying to do your best, if you're trying to still work and, kind of not give up completely, then it's really challenging for you to get any help. If I basically dropped everything, closed my business, just stopped looking, then the help would be much more available. But also if I made their life difficult for my landlords, which I'm unwilling to do because they're my friends and I have integrity. Like, I'm a decent person, I have integrity, and I can't let that go just because I need a bit of help. So it's been difficult. And what I found really interesting was, as I've been attending these kinds of places, and I've been to a few now, what comes up is this incredible feeling of shame. I feel ashamed of being in this situation, it's coming up, of not handling my life better, of making mistakes that brought me to this point. And, although I'm really, really happy I'm having this child, I've promised myself I would not bring a child to this world unless I'm in a secure position, unless I am in a relationship that can provide for this child, and I completely felt that. Yet I just cannot bring myself not to have this baby. I really cannot. I cannot let it go. I cannot abort. I cannot do this. And so I'll do everything I can, and I'm literally doing everything I can business-wise to make this work, looking for jobs. I'm doing everything I can, yet there is this overwhelming feeling of shame. How the fuck did I get here? And the shame that I have to ask for help, that I have to rely on other people. That's really, really hard. And people have been amazing, really amazing. The system not so much, but my friends just been absolutely wonderful, and I can only hope that I can ever be as much help to other people as they have been to me. But what I've realized is that the shame is coming from my judgment. It's me have been judging people who are on benefits or who are asking for help. I don't know exactly where it's coming from my upbringing, but it's explanation and an excuse. And because I judge others, obviously by default, I judge myself. And I've been realizing that I really need to change this attitude, that people just can find themselves in difficult situations. You just never know what's around the corner, no matter how secure you feel in your life, how rich you are, how many houses you have. Like, houses can go up in fire. This happened to my friend. She lost everything in the fire, everything. She had to start from scratch. You can lose people die. That's, my husband proved that pretty well. Even when they're young, you can lose jobs, you can lose your money, like your investments, banks can crash, your savings can go, like things can go like this in a second, and what you thought would never happen to you suddenly is happening to you, and suddenly you rely on other people and need help and have nothing left, although you've been working really hard to build your life up. And sometimes, your circumstances may become difficult through other means, like addictions and stuff like that, and I'm well beyond judging people for that, because I have a good understanding of how that happens. So, and we pay national insurance. It's called insurance for a reason, exactly for this reason. It's to insure yourself for hard times. It's like when you have the money, when you're earning, you're paying. I'm paying, and I've been paying for 16 years. So when something happens and things don't go according to plan, you can draw on that. Unfortunately, the government's makes it quite easy for you to pay that money, not so easy to get it. And we're not even talking about being, relying on the system completely. Literally just little help, temporary help, few months until things get better. Yet the hoops that one has to jump through, it's incredible. In some ways, of course, it's good, because you don't want people to abuse the system, but they still do. So obviously that's not working. Anyway, that's ranting, and that's going somewhere where I didn't want it to go. What I want to say is, I'm refusing to judge myself or anyone anymore, and I'm refusing to feel ashamed for what I'm going through, because this could happen to anyone. And I've worked really hard, and I will never give up. I will keep working really hard, and I will keep doing my personal best, and that's all I can do. And if I need help every so often, so what? I love helping people. I love helping others, and I can do that even when I have nothing. And it feels good to help others. So hopefully it feels good to others to help me. And this is, with paid forward and with paying it back, we can just make each other feel good and make our lives good. And that's what community is about. And that's something I'm really coming to appreciate, how important community is, and how this really a couple hundred years ago wouldn't be an issue. It's our individualistic lives that makes everything so much more difficult and isolating, and I'm not going back there again. So I've been ranting long enough. This is where I am at. I will make it work. I'm not depressed. I'm not negative about this. Slightly anxious, but understandably so. But I'm, just playing on. I keep going, and I will get there. And I know I'm not the only single parent who is in this situation. And they manage, and so will I. So here we go. This is another side to pregnancy and parenthood and motherhood. And if you're going through anything like this yourself, feel free to get in touch. If you haven't gone through something like this, you know someone who's going through something like this, get in touch. Like, let's do this together. We don't have to be alone through this shit. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. We don't have to hide this. We don't have to pretend that everything's hunky-dory when it isn't. I think if the world is to be a better place, then everyone's got to be real about what's going on for them. And I'm willing to do this. This is my shit. It's real, and it's gonna get better. Until next time, have a lovely weekend. I'm certainly planning to, and see you soon, everyone. Bye.